Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining Jeff and I today on our webcast. How are you, Jeff?
I am excellent.
Good. Didn't you just receive a phone call the other day from a bank that came up on the caller ID was actually from your bank?
I did, and I probably would have fallen for it. What happened was we were with two of our clients the evening before, and they told us a story about how someone from their financial institution phoned and was asking them to do certain things with their account. And because that story was fresh in my mind, when I received the phone call, I said, I'll phone you back just for security. My security. And then the person on the other end of the phone paused and then said, fine, and hung up. And that was when I got suspicious because I called back the same number that showed up on my call display, but the bank said they didn't phone me and my account looked fine. The person who dialed me said that there were some suspicious transactions and asked, have you been traveling? That was when I said I'd call them back. So um, it's remarkably easy to do. Uh, Phone ID spoofing is what I believe it's called.
Yeah.
So you got to be really careful out there. It's these are
Yeah.
scary times.
Yeah. The fraudsters have really accelerated their methods. So there's all kinds of different kinds of ways that they're, I guess, presently impacting the masses. And like you said, spoofing, where the caller ID actually comes up as a legitimate company name or something. I too received a phone call not too long ago from a financial institution. It wasn't a bank. I've never done business with them ever. And the fellow that got on the phone wouldn't stop talking. He was very persistent, asking me personal information. And I actually shut him down and just said, no, thank you. But
Yeah,
it was very aggressive.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's a well-known Toronto economic researcher, and there are ads being run on, and certainly on Instagram because I've seen them. I believe they're on Facebook too, where his image is on the screen, his voice is being heard, but they're not his words. And
right.
he was on a television station. Yes, actually, first of all, the Globe and Mail wrote an article about it where he said, "This is not me. This is fraud." And then he was on TV yesterday saying pretty much the exact same thing. And he was rightfully so very upset about it. And he said, I'm a serious person. I'm not on Facebook and I'm not on What's Up either.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up? So they're accessing, yeah, all those like mock advertisements
Yeah,
through like that are associated with the legitimate shows, like the what's it called? The Lion's
Dragons,
Den?
Dragon's Den.
Dragon's Den. That's it.
Oh no,
And
sorry. I think it's now Shark Tank.
Shark
But
Tank. Okay.
nevertheless, yeah, Kevin O'Leary
Yeah.
and another person.
So right. So they're posing like fake advertisements through social media platforms. People are falling for whatever they're suggesting and clicking on these things and having issues come up with fraud. So
Yeah,
something to be worried about. And the person you're talking about, didn't they do like they swapped out his head, his
yeah,
voice, transposed it, and then so you're listening to him. He's talking. It could be his t-shirt that he was wearing that day, his head, but it's not him.
yeah. We didn't actually discuss this story before we hit record, but that's exactly what he said happened. During the Globe and Mail article, he was wearing I think it was a golf shirt, the same color as this shirt, or maybe it was a different color. Doesn't matter. He was wearing a golf shirt, and then on the new ads they're running, he's now wearing that same shirt. So
Right.
artificial intelligence has been able to really fool people into thinking that you're hearing the voice of someone familiar to you, but it's not
Right.
that person.
Yeah.
We have a client, by the way, she told me a story a year ago about how her grandmother received a phone call from our client's brother. And he said, I've got a flat tire. I need you to wire transfer to me $500 to get the flat tire replaced. And I said, that sounds like a pretty expensive tire, but she wasn't
Yeah.
finished the story. And so her grandmother drove all the way to the bank to make this transfer. However, it was a Sunday, and so the bank was closed, so she couldn't make the transfer. So she was very concerned her grandson had a flat, was in the middle of nowhere, and didn't have the money to replace the tire. So she
Hmm.
calls somebody else. They get in touch with our client's brother, and he doesn't even own a car. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't him, but it was his voice, and the voice fooled the grandmother. Um, so yeah, these
There's a
are
lot of, yeah, that's
we could
huge
go
in the
on and
news
on.
right now. Like they were just talking about the grandparent scams.
Yeah, yeah,
Somebody was just, they just ended up breaking up a grandparent scam artist that came out of Montreal that was heading a lot of those things. So, like
yeah.
the CRA scams to fake phone calls saying that somebody, a family member, needs money, all kinds of things.
Yeah, we could go on all day about stories because there's
Yeah,
no shortage of them.
right.
Why don't we move on to just some tips that you can do to avoid being the victim of a
Right.
scam? So if you read our blog, we've got several of them. We'll just mention a few of them.
Well, you've mentioned
Okay.
one already. If you receive a phone call that you don't recognize, even if it looks like it's your bank, and they start asking for personal information, hey, get off the phone and call them back
Yeah.
to double
Good
check.
idea. Good idea. Next one. With your passwords online, never use the same password more than once. Use different
Hmm.
passwords for different profiles and make the passwords complex. So they say the best password is one that doesn't have a specific word in there. It's just a combination of letters and characters. So
Right.
that's
And the
one thing. Another
classic,
thing
the
you could
emails. Sorry, Jeff, the classic emails that come through. Look for phishing, suspicious emails.
do.
These guys are very savvy, so they can come in and maybe just alter one letter.
Yeah,
Look it over twice. If it looks off, it probably is. Follow your
yeah,
gut instincts.
yeah. And don't click on any suspicious links.
No.
And then let's just finish on this multi-factor verification. So that is when you try to log in and you type in your account name, your password, but then they will send you a text message to your phone with a special code that you have to type in to advance into your profile. So enable that wherever you can.
Yeah.
So it's a scary world out there. Why don't we just close on what we've done for our clients? So we
Mhm.
obviously take this very seriously. We've never had this happen to us, and we've developed a very rigorous set of policies and procedures. Uh, Sometimes I get asked if I have any hobbies. Compliance is right up there,
Pardon me?
don't you think?
Yeah.
Compliance is right up there on the top of my
Yes.
hobby.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we talked to one firm, they only do cybersecurity. We told them here are our practices, and they gave us very good feedback. So we've employed
Mm.
everything they've shared with us. And we also checked with a separate firm. So we've got two firms have provided good input, and I think we're pretty much best practice for our clients. So that
Right.
we never want this to happen to anyone.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
okay, well, not a very happy topic today, but I think it's an
No,
important one.
it is important. All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon. Thanks,
Okay.
Jeff.
See you.
Okay.
Yep.